Welcome back to Peepo Coin Channel, everyone. This is Rich making another video on XRP today, as usual. We're going to talk about XRP today, so I hope everyone is having a fantastic day wherever they are in the world. Additionally, I want to explain the Genius Act's current state. Since crypto isn't booming, I see people saying, look, they passed the Genius Act. Although the Genius Act passes the Senate, the House's approach is yet unknown. The House still has to be inspected. It hasn't passed completely yet, and this will probably occur in August. People are now assigning a date of August to this. I hope it is completed. Prior to July, as you are aware of how Washington operates, it suddenly becomes necessary to go through this phase. That will therefore require a few more weeks. However, this phase must be completed, which will need a few more weeks. Let's get this completed and implemented right now. You know, with or without the United States, the rest of the world is progressing. Brad Garlinghouse's thoughts on the new cryptocurrency bill are as follows. Crypto businesses have been urging Congress to enact crypto laws and establish guidelines for years. A really historic event. This is the first significant financial bill since Dodd-Frank and the first cryptocurrency bill to pass the Senate before moving on to the House. And I concur with that. This is significant for our industry since cryptocurrency investors and Smoke indicate that the passage of the Genius Act secures XRP's position. He makes the following remark, for example. He proposed that RLUSD's institutional adoption will increase the demand for and usefulness of XRP. Because RLUSD uses a variety of networks, including the XRP ledger, he made this claim. To put things in perspective, each RLUSD transaction based on the XRP ledger entails a tiny XRP charge that is automatically burnt, which might eventually reduce the amount of tokens available. Smoke claims that because XRP is used for conversion costs, demand for it will rise in tandem with the institutional adoption of RLUSD. Although XRP is not a stablecoin, the Genius Act's ability to operate inside a stablecoin framework may support its status as a utility token. Individuals will want to keep XRP while transferring stable currency as well as other valuable items, tokenized assets, and substantial sums of cash. And everyone believed that Tether would benefit greatly from the Genius Act. As you can see, Treasury has the authority to block foreign stablecoins that do not comply. Additionally, everything connected to money laundering or fraud will be blocked. Unable to pass an audit. After enacting these bills, they don't give things like Tether and USDT free passes. It will very certainly be forced offshore by laws if it stays underwater. And notice that Tether Treasury made an additional billion USDT as a result of the declining price of Bitcoin. In order to support the price of Bitcoin once more, they plan to mint more USDT. With all the excitement surrounding Bitcoin at the moment, these big bag holders want to cash out one final time before it crashes, I'm telling you. Then there's this, which originates with the actual REMI relief. Do you recall this infographic? Where XRP is displayed between USD and EUR. Just think of these as steady currency now. We had known for years that this day would come. This mapping was released in 2019, or possibly before. This has always been Ripple's vision. Then Smoke mentioned Uber, Airbnb, and Google. We are all involved in vision. Ripple's initial product for a single worldwide payment interface. The document below illustrates how that plan functions within Ripple's network, with XRP acting as the liquidity layer. Thus, we moved from this point to the present, where XRP can be found in a sizable pool between businesses. You must keep in mind that each of these businesses is now producing stable coins of its own. To move those steady currencies, they will still require a bridge. Thus, what used to require eyesight is now occurring in real time. That is the Genius Act's greatest feature. It just made it possible to use XRP as a link between all of these reliable coins. Jake Claver also brought this to light. People believe that stable coins lessen the necessity for XRPs. False. Because banks won't trust competitors' XRP to act as a neutral bridge, the $27 trillion in Nostro Vostro accounts might increase to over $50 trillion. And once more, it will decline even to regional banks despite the stable currencies of all these bankers, such as those of JP Morgan, Goldman Sachs, and Bank of America. It will eventually reach the banks you use. Each of them will desire their own coin. This is the way that everything is going. However, you must have a bridge when you flip that coin. To unlock the Nostro Vostro accounts and supply that on-demand liquidity, you also need something like Xrp. Everything is fitting together flawlessly. Eleanor Tourette is the source of this. Next week's subcommittee hearing, chaired by Senator Loomis, will center on the concepts that Senate banking is developing for its version of a measure pertaining to crypto market structure. Loomis is too much for me. She is Washington's largest Bitcoin maxi. All that matters to her is Bitcoin. Senator Tim Scott informed me yesterday that he hopes to have a full committee hearing in the coming month, most likely when a discussion draft is made public. Regulations pertaining to cryptocurrency are also imminent. Clarification in regulations concerning cryptocurrency. Recall that we were always aware that we would receive a stablecoin bill first, followed immediately by a complete cryptocurrency bill. When regulations are clarified, utility-driven coins will be approved. They will gain from it since they would be categorized as utility tokens. Therefore, you have two options when an organization wants to invest in cryptocurrencies: buy hype and speculation. You could invest in something that genuinely addresses issues in the real world, or you could purchase a meme coin. I believe we will see cryptocurrencies like XRP, XLM, XDC, and others once it is in place. Their worth is going to start to really take off. The price will start to soar quickly all of a sudden. Charles Hoskinson, the founder of Cardano, has put out a plan that would allow holders of XRP to get noticeably higher dividends. And right here is what Charles stated. In my ideal world, Cardano Midnight would be the foundation of the XRP ecosystem, allowing it to remain XRP while generating significantly higher returns for its investors and Ripple, the business that invented XRP. Additionally, you must consider taxes on the passive income you receive from your cryptocurrency as it begins to flow in. In addition to creating a completely new LLC specifically for passive income, I plan to attempt to make a video about taxes and passive income. Creating a separate LLC is part of my plan since it will allow me to purchase items, write them off, and avoid paying taxes on the money I write off. Additionally, I believe that it will provide me with more opportunities to avoid paying full tax on that passive income. As cryptocurrency owners, we are now very close to earning passive income. Await the arrival of the institutions. Although people aren't aware of it yet, those institutions will eventually enter this market. Additionally, they will be searching for ways to earn money. They will be providing loans that are backed by cryptocurrency. Through their businesses, they will be providing opportunities for consumers to increase their passive income. Perhaps their yield is higher. Perhaps they do things better. Then you had to consider tokenization, which allows you to invest in tokenized real estate and earn passive income. There will be a wide variety of choices. And the most of them we haven't even considered yet, so we don't even know what they are. However, they will also become daily announcements. In the midst of settlement, Ripple suddenly transferred 200 million XRP. This is where you're going. Thus, a great deal of conjecture surrounds this. People are claiming that Ripple shifted 200 million XRP in order to provide on-demand liquidity. Although it's still conjecture, some people claim it's a component of the SEC settlement. As of yet, no one truly knows what this is for. I believe institutional buyers will make use of it. That is, possibly over-the-counter purchasers.